Hello friends, let's start the first chapter of the 11th class, that is the physical world. You can see the some words, these are you can't distinguish, okay, because these are the Greek words and it was observed in the 15th century. Okay, it was in 15th century. Okay, these are the Greek. This is a very interesting chapter without any numericals, only the concept. Okay, and in this chapter you will study all the rules, laws. You will take the idea which you will study in 11th and 12th class. Okay, now we'll start the physical world, this chapter, from this symbol, Greek symbol. Its meaning is the nature. Okay, its meaning is the nature. So what is the nature? Nature is, you can say, it is the physics, your most lovable subject. Okay, physics means it is the laws of nature. Okay, what is this? This is the laws of nature, you can say. And actually physics, you can say also, it is the laws of that statements which explain the physical world. The physical world. Okay, so this is the physics. Now all the rules, regulations are classified by two principles. Okay, so all physicists categorize the total physics into two basic concepts, basic principles, and these are known as the unification and reductionism. Okay, reductionism. Okay, so we can classify this. So we'll discuss what are these unification and the reductionism. So first of all, see what is the unification. Unification means actually there are so many rules, laws, and you have to unify it. It means by the single law, you can you can explain the so many phenomena. Okay, see the example. Suppose I'm taking some examples. Falling of the apple, apple falling, moon revolve around the earth, or the, you can say, pendulum swinging. Okay, pendulum swinging. So all these phenomena can be explained by a single law, that is by the law of gravitation. Okay, so you can see there are so many phenomena which can be explained by the only a single law. Okay, so it is the law of gravitation, these three. Similarly, you can take some more examples. Suppose law of conservation of energy, law of conservation of energy. Okay, so due to this conservation, we are able to understand about the Lenge's law, that is, it is in magnetism. And principle of calorimetry, it is in thermodynamics, you can say. It is in thermodynamics. Okay, and Kirchhoff's law, its second law is based on the law of conservation of energy, electricity. Okay, Kirchhoff's law. And the Bernoulli's theorem, Bernoulli's principle. Okay, in, where is it? You studied already. you have to study Bernoulli's theory principle. It is in fluid. So we can understand, we can explain all these phenomena only by a single law of conservation of energy. Okay, so there are so many phenomena we can take. These are the examples. Now see what is the reductionism. See what is the reductionism. Okay, reductionism means when you have a problem which is a complex type and you have to solve that problem by breaking the problem into small parts. See the example. Suppose I hit a ball on the pendulum start revolving, and you have to tell how much height it will attain. Okay, another example, suppose you fire a bullet. Okay, it inserted in a wooden block, and that block hit a pendulum, and pendulum start rising in upward direction. So what is the height? Okay, so these type of the problems, you can say the complex problems, and you can't solve these problems by a single formula. You have to solve these type of questions, numericals, in stepwise. Okay, so it means you are breaking a complex problem into very small parts and then start solving. So this is known as the reductionism. So I can write it is breaking. What is this? It is the breaking of very complex problem into very small parts and then solve. Okay, so this phenomena is called the reductionism. I think it is clear. Now after reductionism, we can understand what is the unification. Reductionism, actually a scientist given a single rule, and these are the basic rules, becomes the basic rules. See, I am taking the example of Maxwell's equation. You will study the Maxwell equations in future in next class, and he has given 4 basic equations. Okay, 4 basic equations. Just try to understand, like the Newton's given the 3 basic equations, or the 3 basic laws of motion, or the Kepler's law, that is the basically 3 laws. So similarly here, Maxwell's given the 4 basic equations, and these 4 equations explains about the electrostatics. Okay, and second, it also electrodynamics, and another magnetism, that is the electromagnetic induction, already studied in class 10. Magnetism you can understand. And fourth is the electromagnetic wave. Okay, so he is given 4 basic equations, and through that you can understand these 4 major branches of the physics. So this is the unification and this is the reductionism. Okay, now according to NCERT, our next topic is the scope of physics. Okay, see what is the scope of physics. Okay, in simple way, utility of the physics, limitations of the physics, and the range of the physics, you can say. So this is about the scope of physics. Okay, to understand the scope of the physics, we can divide the physics into 2 parts. Just try to understand. First is the macroscopic, okay, which is also called the classic. Okay, that is the fundamental classic. And second is the microscopic. microscopic, which is also known as the quantum, that is the modern. Okay, so macroscopic, that is a large, okay, heavy, large, and the microscopic means very small, very small. So classic means that is the initial stage, the main things, and the macro and the quantum or the microscopic means deeply, okay, minutely. Okay, these are the main two category you can see. Actually, some phenomena cannot be explained on the microscopic basis, and some phenomena can't explain on the basis of macroscopic. Okay, see what topics you can cover in the macroscopic. Some topics you will study in class 11th and some of in class 12. Okay, so I'm going to write all the topics which you will study in 11th and 12th, the full syllabus you can say. See, in the macroscopic you will study, you can divide everything. It is mechanics, okay, and second is the thermodynamics, and next is, you can say, electromagnetism. Yes, electromagnetism. Okay, and next is, you can say, it is the optics. Yes, it is optics. Okay, so four main branches you can say of the macroscopic. In mechanics, what you will study, what you have to study, first you can say, like the how the car moves, that is the car motion. Okay, why a body cannot move smoothly over the surface of the another, that is the about friction. And how the rod bends, that is the bending of rod. Okay, and like the rocket propulsion. Okay, next you can say how the wheel rotates, that is the wheel rotation. And next you can see about the sound waves. And next you can say flotation. Yes, flotation, that is about the fluids. And also you will study motion of satellites. Okay, motion of satellites, that is about the gravitation. So this is about the mechanics. Okay, now second is the thermodynamics. You will study in thermodynamics different laws. Okay, different laws. Or you will study in the thermodynamics about the heat. Okay, you will study about the heat engine. Okay, heat engine. And refrigerator. And you can and the different types of heat engines at the temperature, okay, etc. So these topics will be covered in the thermodynamics. Okay, and in electromagnetism, what you will study, just see, in electromagnetism you will study about the electromagnetism. First, electromagnetism, and first electromagnetism, and yes, charge, and field, electric, magnetic, etc. field, and about current, and the alternating current or the direct current, AC or DC currents. Okay, you will study and the generators, you can say. Okay, AC DC generator also in this it will be covered, and about the magnets and the electromagnetic wave. Okay, so these topics will be covered in the topic electromagnetism. Now see, in case of the optics, in optics you will study about the light. Okay, about the waves, because light travels in the form of the waves, in the form of the particle also, particle nature, wave nature. Okay, waves, particle. Okay, and also we'll study about the mirrors, lenses, telescope. Okay, telescope, and then you will study about the microscope also, microscope, and then formation of the rainbow. Okay, scattering, etc. There are so many topics. Okay, I can't write everything here, but I'm giving the idea ki how many topics can be covered by a single branch of the macroscopic or the classic. Okay, now if we talk about the microscopic, which is, you can say, it is the modern physics. Actually it is the modern physics. Okay, it is the modern physics. So in modern physics you will study about the atom, you will study about the electrons. Okay, you will study about the X-rays, you will study about the semiconductors, you will study about the nucleus. Okay, so etc. So these are the topics in the modern physics. So we'll study about these topics. So this is about the scope. Now another topic according to the CBSE NCERT I'm taking, it is the relation between the physics, technology and society. Okay, very interesting, just try to understand. But in my personal view, physics is everything, but when we add the physics with technology, then it gives too much to the society. Okay, so why we are doing the work, why the scientists are doing the work or doing the research? Only for the sake of the society, for the benefit of the society. See the example, I'm taking the example of my sentence. You know, steam engine was first time steam engine was invented. Okay, James Watt invented. Okay, and he tried to increase its efficiency. Okay, when he thought to increase its efficiency, so to increase its efficiency, you can say technology was required. Is it? Technology was needed, and this need gives the birth of new thing. Okay, so from here new physics branch developed, okay, new physics, this requirement, new physics branch developed, and that branch is the thermodynamics. Okay, thermodynamics. Okay, that branch is the thermodynamics. So it was the need of the time. That time to increase the efficiency, thermodynamics was required. This branch was required. And from thermodynamics, we developed, we modified heat engines. Okay, heat engines. See another example. Taking the another example. Sometimes we have technology like suppose semiconductor. Okay, semiconductor. Semiconductor, it is by the silicon chips. Okay, silicon chips. Okay, made by the, okay, so by semiconductors, we invented about the ICs, etc. with the help of the silicon chips. Okay, so from here, technology, it is the technology birth, you can say. Okay, from the, it is the technology birth. And then physics was invented from here. So from here, you can say it is the technology. It is the technology birth, and it gives the computer, okay, computer, laptop, mobile, LED or LCD, TVs, etc. Okay, so once we had some technology of the semiconductors, and using that we invented some new devices. Okay, so sometimes it may be reverse. Okay, from physics to technology, sometimes it is from technology to physics. Okay, and see the another example. Suppose electromagnetic wave, that is the EMI. This is a chapter in class 12. Okay, from this, when it was invented, then using this we devised a new system, that is the communication system. Okay, we developed. Okay, that is the through satellites, through some other devices. Now we are able to communicate to each other. Okay, so this is about the relation between the physics and the technology. Okay, sometime from physics to technology, sometime it is from technology to physics. Okay, so already physics and technology work together to give the something to the society, and always very, very useful. However, you can say nuclear energy is another very good branch, but we didn't utilize good in the sense when we invented about the nuclear bomb. Okay, so nuclear energy worked for us, for the humanity, as a boon, and sometimes it is the curse. It was depend on the humanity, which type of we are using this nuclear energy. So you can say the nuclear energy, nuclear energy you can say it is the sometime boon and sometime it is the curse. Okay, because we can use the nuclear energy for the constructive work as well as the destructive work also. So that's why it depends on the human beings or the human which are living in this world. Now another topic, the last topic of this chapter, physical world, is again a very interesting, that is, we'll discuss the four fundamental forces in nature. Okay, there are so many forces in this nature, but we can categorize all the forces into four parts, into the four categories. Okay, and these are the, you can say, gravitation, gravitation, and electromagnetic, and strong nuclear force, and the weak nuclear force. Okay, now we'll compare all these. Gravitation force already studied in class 9, that this is the force between two bodies having masses m1 m2, and the gravitation force is always attractive. Okay, it is always attractive in nature. And second, it is a long range force. Long range force means its distance is very small, and up to a very long distance it is effective. That is, you can say the infinity, that is not measurable. Okay, it works to a very long range force, that is between the planets also it works. And but remember, it is the weakest force. Okay, it is the weakest force in the nature. That's why everybody cannot realize it. Okay, this is the about the gravitation. Now see the electromagnetism. You know, similar charges always repel to each other. If both are plus, so both will repel to each other, minus repel to each other. But if they are of the same nature, then they will attract to each other, always attract to each other. Remember, it is again a long range force. Long range, that is the infinity, you can say. And it is, remember, it is one of the strongest force. It is one of the strongest force. Clear? Not the strongest, but it is the one of the strongest. Okay, and remember, no medium is required. Okay, no medium is required. If medium is there, it's okay. If no medium there, again it will work. Okay, it may work in absence of the medium also. Medium and without medium, both forces can work. Now about the strong nuclear force. Strong nuclear force, you know, it is always within nucleus. Always within nucleus. You know, in the nucleus, proton, neutron are there, and all particles, proton, neutrons are bounded by a force, and that force is very strong. Otherwise, you can say na ki proton that is positive always repel to each other. Okay, so in this case the nucleus should split. Okay, so they split, but it is not there, na. They never split. Okay, however, the proton repel to each other. So the force which binds all the protons and the neutrons within the nucleus is the strong nuclear force. So it is always, you can say, this is, nuclear forces are the forces between the nucleus. Okay, and remember, these forces do not depend on charge. Okay, do not depend. Okay, and you can say another point, strongest force. Yes, strongest force. It is the strongest force in the nature. Strongest force in the nature. And remember, it is a very short range force. Very short range. And what is the range? It is approx 10 to power minus 15 meter. That is it is the size of the nucleus. 10 to power minus 15 or 10 to power minus 14. Sometimes in some books it is written. So up to this range only it works only. This is the strongest force. Okay, remember. Now about the weak force. Again, it is a very, it is a short range force, and its limits is again 10 to power minus 15 meter. It is a weak force, very weak force, and you can observe this force in the radioactivity emission. Okay, when the alpha, beta, gamma particles emit from the nucleus, so you can observe only in radioactivity. Okay, so in radioactivity, that is the emission of alpha, beta, and gamma. Okay, you can observe here, and in the emission which particles forms, that is the neutrino and antineutrino. You will study about these terms in class 12th. Okay, and so this is the weak nuclear force. So all forces in nature can be categorized in the 4 parts. Now in last, just we can compare. See how can we compare this. See, we can compare like this: strong nuclear force and electromagnetic. Here I'm taking the boundary. Electromagnetic, weak force, and the gravitation. Okay, gravitation. It is the weakest, greater than gravitation, weak force, and electromagnetic force is greater than the weak force, and the strong force is greater than the electromagnetic force. Okay, this is the relation. If the strong nuclear force is 1, then it is 10 to power minus 2, that is the 1 upon 100 times weaker. Okay, and weak force, it is approx 10 to power minus 13, that is 1 upon 10 to power 13. You can see it's very weak in comparison of these. And the gravitation, it is approx 10 to power minus 38 times weak. Okay, so this is the comparison between all 4 forces, fundamental forces in nature. So dear friends, so this is all about the physical worlds, first chapter of the 11th class. Thank you.